Dan Blocker, forever remembered as the warm-hearted giant who brought Hoss Cartwright to life on Bonanza, lived a story that rivaled the depth and richness of any character he ever portrayed. Long before he became a household name, he was born Bobby Dan Davis on December 10, 1928, in the small community of DeKalb, Texas. His childhood unfolded against the backdrop of the rugged Texas countryside, a place where life demanded resilience and where honesty, hard work, and loyalty to family were not simply admired but expected. Those early lessons took root deeply within him, shaping the man he would become. From boyhood, he stood apart, not only because of the physical size he would eventually attain, but because of the unusual harmony between strength and gentleness that defined him. As he grew, he developed into a towering figure, eventually reaching 6 feet 4 inches in height and weighing close to 300 pounds. His appearance alone could command attention in any room. Yet the true measure of Dan Blocker was never found in his stature. It lived instead in his laughter, his kindness, and the steady warmth he offered to others. Those who knew him best often remarked that his presence felt comforting rather than intimidating. His parents ran a modest store in their Texas town, and within that humble setting he absorbed lessons that would guide him throughout his life. Responsibility was not optional. Helping neighbors was second nature. Compassion was practiced daily. Working in and around the store instilled in him a strong work ethic and an understanding of community. It also nurtured an inner determination that would carry him through challenges yet to come. Even as a young man, he demonstrated persistence and an unwillingness to abandon his goals. Education became another cornerstone of his development. He attended the Texas Military Institute, where discipline and structure further strengthened his character. Later, he enrolled at Sul Ross State University, a decision that expanded both his mind and his future possibilities. There, he excelled in two very different arenas. On the football field, he earned respect for his athletic skill, strategic awareness, and loyalty to his teammates. In the classroom, he proved equally capable, pursuing literature and language with seriousness and curiosity. He completed a degree in English and later achieved a master's degree in dramatic arts, revealing intellectual ambitions that extended far beyond athletics. College peers often noticed qualities in him that would later define his public persona. He possessed a calm steadiness that could ease tension in a room. He spoke honestly, listened carefully, and had a quiet leadership style that did not rely on dominance, but on trust. Even then, he carried himself with reflection and thoughtfulness. His professors and classmates alike recognized that he combined physical presence with emotional intelligence in a way that was rare. Before the bright lights of Hollywood ever illuminated his path, duty called him to military service. During the Korean War, he was drafted into the United States Army and served as an infantry sergeant. The experience proved transformative. Military life demanded discipline, endurance, and courage. It also exposed him to the harsh realities of conflict and the weight of responsibility that comes with leadership. Those years deepened his empathy and broadened his understanding of sacrifice. He would later acknowledge that serving his country taught him respect for others and reinforced the idea that life is larger than personal ambition. Fellow soldiers remembered him as composed and brave, someone who maintained dignity even under pressure. When his service concluded and he returned home, he did not immediately seek fame. Instead, he entered the classroom as a teacher in Texas. Sharing his passion for literature and history, he approached education with patience and genuine care. Students responded to his enthusiasm and steady encouragement. Teaching refined his communication skills and heightened his ability to interpret emotion and motivation, abilities that would become invaluable in his acting career. Long before stepping onto a television set, he had already established himself as a mentor and role model. His transition into the entertainment industry was neither sudden nor effortless. In the late 1950s, he began appearing in small roles on television westerns such as The Rifleman, Gunsmoke, and The Restless Gun. These early performances introduced audiences and casting directors to a unique screen presence, a large, commanding figure softened by a natural charm and understated humor. Gradually, opportunities grew. everything changed in 1959 when he was cast as Eric Hoss Cartwright on Bonanza. The role would define his career and secure his place in television history. As the middle son of the Cartwright family, Hoss was portrayed as compassionate, honest, and loyal. He was not the fastest shooter in the territory, nor the most rugged of cowboys. Instead, he represented something deeper: moral clarity, kindness, and unwavering love for family. Audiences embraced him wholeheartedly. Over 14 years, Dan Blocker appeared in 415 episodes of the series, infusing each performance with sincerity and emotional depth. Hoss became the heart of the show, grounding its action-driven plots in humanity. His co-stars, Michael Landon, Pernell Roberts, and Lorne Greene, often described him as the moral anchor not only of the fictional Cartwright family, but of the cast itself. Critics commended his ability to elevate a genre known for gunfights and frontier drama by adding emotional nuance and authenticity. Despite the fame that followed, Dan Blocker remained unchanged at his core. Off-camera, he reflected the same traits that endeared Hoss to viewers. He avoided arrogance and resisted the trappings of celebrity. Colleagues consistently noted his respectful treatment of everyone on set, from leading actors to crew members behind the scenes. While others in Hollywood sometimes grew distant under the spotlight, he stayed approachable and grounded. He credited his upbringing and family life for keeping his priorities clear. That family life was anchored by his wife, Dolphia Parker, whom he met during their time at Sul-Ross State University. Their connection began long before stardom entered the picture. Built on shared values and genuine affection, their relationship matured into a marriage in 1952. Throughout his rise in the entertainment industry, Dolphia provided unwavering support and stability. Together, they raised 4 children: twin sons David and Dirk, and daughters Deborah Lee and Dana. He frequently acknowledged that Dolphia's quiet strength was essential to his success. Even as Bonanza became one of television's most successful series, he chose evenings at home over Hollywood parties. His house echoed with laughter, conversation, and clear moral guidance. Friends in the industry often expressed admiration for his commitment to his family, noting how uncommon it was to see someone maintain such balance amid fame. For him, success held little value if it compromised integrity or relationships. Yet behind the warm family image presented on screen, the reality of working on Bonanza included complexities. The fictional harmony of the Cartwrights living on the Ponderosa Ranch contrasted at times with tensions among cast members. The most notable of these involved Dan Blocker and Pernell Roberts, who portrayed Adam Cartwright. Their differences became a topic of interest among fans and historians alike. Blocker approached his work with gratitude and loyalty. He believed in the show's mission to deliver wholesome entertainment to American households. When disagreements arose, he often stepped into the role of mediator, striving to preserve camaraderie. Roberts, by contrast, was deeply intellectual and vocal about his artistic concerns. A classically trained performer, he sought scripts that explored complex social themes and sometimes criticized what he saw as formulaic storytelling. Their disagreements did not arise from envy, but from contrasting philosophies. Blocker valued stability and teamwork. Roberts prioritized artistic challenge and social commentary. At times, Roberts' blunt criticisms were interpreted by Blocker as dismissive of a project he cherished. In later reflections, Blocker remarked that intelligence should never be used as justification for belittling others. He recalled occasions when Roberts resisted rehearsing dialogue he considered beneath his standards, creating strain during production. Nevertheless, both men remained committed to delivering convincing performances. Blocker trusted instinct and emotional truth, while Roberts relied on meticulous preparation and analytical depth. The tension between these methods, heart versus intellect, added layers to their on-screen dynamic. Michael Landon observed that Blocker worked hard to remain patient even during heated moments. When Roberts left the series in 1965, Blocker experienced mixed emotions. The persistent friction subsided, bringing relief. Yet he also felt sadness and maintained respect for Roberts' talent. Over time, He came to view their clashes as the product of differing personalities rather than hostility. Through it all, his portrayal of Hoss continued to provide audiences with comfort and reassurance. Off-screen, he sustained his reputation as supportive, generous, and deeply devoted to his loved ones. His sudden death in 1972, at only 43 years old, stunned fans and colleagues alike. The loss felt personal to millions who had come to see him as part of their extended family. In reflecting upon his life, one finds a consistent thread of compassion, loyalty, and moral strength. From a small Texas town to the heights of national fame, Dan Blocker never abandoned the principles instilled in him during childhood. He served his country with honor, educated young minds with patience, entertained audiences with sincerity, and loved his family with unwavering devotion. Even the conflicts he faced were handled with a desire for understanding rather than bitterness. His legacy endures not merely through reruns of Bonanza or stories from former colleagues, but through the enduring example he set. He proved that a man could be physically powerful yet emotionally gentle, successful yet humble, famous yet faithful to his roots. In the end, the character of Hoss Cartwright resonated so deeply because it was not entirely fiction. It reflected the heart of the man who portrayed him, a gentle giant whose true greatness lay in kindness.